The Plea no one heard. The mining colony of K-17 floated quietly at the edge of known space. From the outside, it looked clean and bright, full of metal towers and glowing lights. But inside, it was cold, loud, and cruel. Machines worked day and night. So did the workers. Some were human, some were alien, and some were dragons. Near the center platform, a large red dragon knelt on the metal floor. Her name no one bothered to remember. Her scales were cracked and dull, no longer shining like they once had. One of her wings was torn, wrapped in rough metal bands meant to keep her working. Dark marks covered her body, burns from energy tools, scars from punishment. She was breathing slowly, trying not to fall. In front of her stood 3 alien officials. They were tall, thin, and dressed in clean black uniforms. Their eyes showed no care, no fear, no shame. "You missed your quota again," one of them said in a flat voice. The dragon mother lowered her head. Her voice was weak but clear. "I did not miss it," she said. "The machines failed. I worked longer to fix them." The alien did not reply to that. He tapped on a glowing screen. "You are still short," he said. "Payment denied." The dragon mother lifted her head just a little. "Please," she said, "I only need my wages. My children haven't eaten." The words echoed softly across the platform. Some workers nearby slowed down. A few humans looked over, then quickly looked away. They had learned not to stare, not to care. Caring made life harder here. The alien officials laughed. "Children," one of them said, "dragons breed too often. That is not our concern." The dragon mother's claws dug into the metal floor. She stayed on her knees. "They are small," she said. "They are hidden. I keep them quiet. I only ask for what I earned." Another official stepped forward. His boots stopped inches from her face. "You are property," he said. "Property does not make demands." The dragon mother closed her eyes. Far below the platform, deep inside an unused cargo tunnel, 3 small dragon children huddled together. Their scales were pale and thin. One of them tried to breathe fire, but only smoke came out. Their stomachs hurt. Their throats were dry. They waited for their mother, just like she told them to. Back on the platform, security drones began to move. Their red lights turned on, pointing at the dragon mother. "Leave," the first official said, "before we remove you." The dragon mother opened her eyes again. There was fear in them, but there was something else too, desperation. "If you take me," she said softly, "they will die." The officials did not answer. One of them raised his hand. That was when someone spoke from the crowd. "How much do they owe her?" The voice was calm, human, clear. The officials turned. A human man stepped forward. He wore a simple gray work suit, stained with oil and dust. His boots were old. His hands were rough. He did not look important. He did not look powerful, but his eyes were sharp. "This does not concern you," one official said. The human shrugged slightly. "I think it does." The workers froze. No one spoke back to officials. Not here. The dragon mother looked at him. She had seen humans before. Most ignored her. Some feared her. Some hated her. This one just looked angry. "She missed quota," the official said. "Payment denied." The human glanced at the dragon mother, then at the screen in the alien's hand. "How much did she earn?" he asked. The official smiled. "More than you can afford." The human reached into his pocket. The crowd gasped softly. He pulled out a small data chip. His pay. Months of work. "Try me," he said. The dragon mother's eyes widened. "No," she whispered. "Do not." The official scanned the chip. His smile faded for a moment. "It is enough," he said slowly. Then his smile returned. "But you will regret this." The human nodded. "Maybe." He handed the chip over. The officials turned and walked away, already bored. The drones powered down. The dragon mother stayed where she was. Her body shook. "You should not have done that," she said. The human looked at her children's tunnel entrance, just barely visible between cargo crates. "No child should starve," he said. "Anywhere." Alarms suddenly echoed across the colony. Unauthorized payment. Human interference. Incident logged. The human's access badge went dark. Around them, workers stepped back. The dragon mother slowly stood. She was taller than him, stronger, ancient. She lowered her head until it touched the floor in front of the human. A dragon bow. I will remember this, she said. The human did not know it yet. But in that moment, the galaxy had just changed. The price of standing up. The alarms did not stop. Red lights washed over the mining colony, turning metal walls into pools of blood-colored shine. Workers froze where they stood. Machines slowed. Screens flashed the same warning again and again. Unauthorized interference. Human subject flagged. The human's access badge went dark in his hand. He looked at it once. Then he slipped it back into his pocket like it no longer mattered. Across the platform, security drones lifted into the air. Their lenses locked onto him. Not the dragon. Not the officials. Only him. The dragon mother felt it instantly. Go, she said in a low voice. Now. The human shook his head. They already saw me. One drone moved closer. Its weapon ports opened with a soft mechanical sound, the kind that came right before pain. The alien officials returned, smiling wider than before. Well, one of them said, that was brave. Very foolish. Humans always confuse those two. The crowd backed away. Even the other humans stepped back, eyes down, hands tight. They had families, debts, fear. The dragon mother stepped forward, placing her massive body between the human and the drones. Step aside, an official ordered. She did not move. She is under my protection, she said. The officials laughed again, but this time it sounded uneasy. You are a labor unit, one said. You protect nothing. The human looked up at her. You don't have to do this. I do, she replied. You fed my children. That sentence landed heavier than any weapon. One official raised his hand. The drones charged their weapons. Then the ground shook. Not hard, just enough. A low vibration passed through the metal floor, like something very far away had just shifted in its sleep. The officials froze. Report one snapped. The drones paused. Their lights flickered. Deep inside the colony, in tunnels marked sealed, unsafe, something answered the vibration. A sound too low to hear, but strong enough to feel in the bones. The dragon mother closed her eyes for half a second. Too soon, she thought. The human felt it too. He did not know what it was, but his instinct screamed danger. What's happening? He asked. The officials looked at their screens. Their smiles vanished. Energy spikes, one muttered. Dragon class. Multiple. That's not possible, another said. This sector is controlled. The dragon mother opened her eyes again. They glowed faintly now like coals under ash. You forgot something, she said calmly. The officials stared at her. Dragons do not forget debts. The drones suddenly lost altitude. One crashed into a platform. Another spun out of control and slammed into a wall. Emergency lights switched to red. Workers began to run. The human grabbed the dragon mother's forearm. Your children. They are not here, she said. They are safe. A heavy door at the far end of the platform buckled inward. Once, twice, a crack split through the metal. From the darkness beyond, heat rolled out like a living thing. The officials backed away. No, one whispered. They wouldn't. The door exploded outward. A massive shadow filled the opening. Then another. Then another. Adult dragons. Their scales were dark, scarred, and burning with old power. Their eyes shone with fury held back by discipline. They did not attack. They landed. The entire colony shook as claws hit metal. Every worker dropped to their knees. Every official went pale. The lead dragon stepped forward, towering over everyone. His voice echoed without shouting. Who starved our kin? Silence. The dragon mother stepped beside the human. She did not bow this time. She stood tall. They did, she said, pointing at the officials. And he fed my children. All eyes turned to the human. He swallowed. The lead dragon looked down at him. Long, careful. You risked yourself, the dragon said. For dragon young. The human nodded once. They were hungry. A long pause. Then the dragon lowered his head slightly. Then you are under our protection. The officials tried to run. They did not get far. As alarms screamed and firelight reflected off ancient scales, one truth spread through the colony faster than fear. A human had chosen a dragon's children, and the dragons had noticed. The galaxy would not stay the same after this. Not ever again. The cost of kindness. The colony was silent after the dragons arrived. Not the peaceful kind of silence, but the kind that presses on the chest, making it hard to breathe. Fires burned where machines had failed. Emergency lights flickered. No one moved unless a dragon's shadow passed over them. The human stood very still. He was surrounded by beings that could tear ships apart. His heart pounded, but he forced himself to stay calm. Fear would not help him now. The dragon mother remained beside him. Her presence felt like a wall between him and death. The alien officials were on their knees. Their uniforms were torn. Their screens lay cracked on the floor. "This is a misunderstanding," one of them said quickly. "We followed colony law." The lead dragon turned his massive head toward the speaker. "Law," he repeated slowly, tasting the word. "You mean profit?" The air grew hotter. The human felt sweat roll down his neck. One official pointed at him. He interfered. "Punish him. He caused this." The dragon mother's head snapped toward the official. A low growl rolled from her chest. The lead dragon raised one claw. She fell silent, but her eyes burned. "You speak again," the lead dragon said, "because you believe the human is weak." He stepped closer to the human. The metal floor bent under his weight. "Are you weak?" the dragon asked. The human met his gaze. His legs shook, but his voice did not. "No," he said. "I'm just tired of watching children starve." A murmur passed through the dragons. The lead dragon studied him. "You gave up your wages, your safety, your future." The human nodded. "Yes." "And what did you expect in return?" the dragon asked. The human thought for a moment. "Nothing." That answer hit harder than any threat. The dragon mother lowered her head slightly. Not a bow, something deeper. "You don't understand," she said softly. "Among dragons, that creates a bond." The officials' fear turned to panic. "Wait," one of them cried. "This colony belongs to the consortium." The lead dragon's eyes narrowed. "The consortium forgot who cleared the void lanes before their ships existed," he said. He turned back to the human. "Kindness has a cost," the dragon said. "You have paid yours. Now the price moves to us." A warning siren screamed, different from the colony alarms. Long-range transmission incoming. Source, Galactic Oversight Fleet. The officials smiled through their fear. Seath once said, "You've gone too far. They will destroy this place." The screen above the platform flickered on. Dozens of warships appeared, sleek, white, perfect. Their weapons powered up. The human looked up slowly. "More soldiers," he muttered. "Great." The dragon mother tensed. "They will not listen." The lead dragon spread his wings. "They will," he said, "or they will learn." The fleet commander's voice filled the colony. "Unidentified dragon forces," the voice said. "Withdraw immediately. This sector is under human-alien treaty protection." The human blinked. "Human-alien." The lead dragon's gaze sharpened. "Human," he said quietly to the man. "Did they protect you?" The human swallowed. "No." The dragon nodded once. "Then treaties mean nothing." Energy surged through the colony. Dragon runes lit up across the walls. Old marks hidden deep in the metal. The official screamed. "What are those symbols?" one cried. The dragon mother answered calmly. "Warnings." The warships fired a warning shot. The dragons did not flinch. The lead dragon spoke again, his voice rolling like thunder. "You starved our children. You broke the old balance." He turned to the human. "Stand behind us." The human took a step back. The sky outside the colony burned bright. Weapons charged. Dragons inhaled. Fire gathered in ancient throats. In that moment, the human realized the truth. He did not just save dragon children. He started a war. And there was no turning back now. What the galaxy forgot. The first shot never came. The warships hung in space, weapons glowing, waiting for an order that did not arrive. Even from inside the colony, everyone could feel the tension, like the universe itself was holding its breath. The human stood behind the dragons, staring up at the burning sky. His hands were clenched, so tight his fingers hurt. "Why aren't they firing?" he asked. The dragon mother did not look away from the sky. "Because they remember," she said, "even if they pretend not to." The lead dragon stepped forward. His wings folded slowly, not in peace but in control. "Long before treaties," he said, his voice echoing through metal and bone. Dragons guarded the deep routes of space. We burned the darkness so others could travel safely. Old symbols along the colony walls glowed brighter. The runes were not decoration. They were seals, buried when dragons were enslaved. The human frowned. You built this place? We allowed it, the dragon answered. The warship screen flickered again. The fleet commander returned, his voice less confident now. This situation is escalating, the commander said. Stand down. We can negotiate. The alien officials rushed forward. Yes, negotiate, one shouted. These dragons are dangerous. They attacked first. The dragon mother turned toward them slowly. No, she said. You attacked hunger. You attacked children. Her words spread across the colony feeds. Every screen carried her voice. Every worker heard it. The officials' faces drained of color. The human realized something then. They weren't just afraid of dragons. They were afraid of the truth being heard. The lead dragon raised his head, and space itself seemed to quiet. Human, he said, speaking only to the man now. Your kind once stood with us. The human shook his head. That was a long time ago. Yes, the dragon agreed. And the galaxy worked very hard to make you forget. Data flooded the screens. Old records, erased histories, sealed wars. Humans and dragons. Side by side. Saving worlds. Breaking tyrants. The human's breath caught. They lied, he whispered. They erased us both, the dragon mother said. The fleet commander cut in sharply. This information is classified. Terminate broadcast. The feed did not cut. The runes flared white-hot. A shockwave rippled through space. Not an attack, but a signal. Every dragon, hidden or enslaved across the sector, felt it. They answered. One by one. Massive shapes appeared beyond the warships. Scarred. Ancient. Awake. The warships powered down. Not by force. By fear. The commander's voice cracked. What do you want? The dragon mother stepped forward until she stood beside the human. Food, she said. Safety. Then she placed a claw gently on the human shoulder. And freedom for those who still remember how to choose it. Silence followed. Then the commander spoke again, very carefully. If we refuse? The lead dragon's eyes burned like stars. Then the galaxy will remember us the hard way. The human looked up at the dragons, then out at the frozen fleet. For the first time, he understood. This was never about wages. It was about a truth buried too long. And now that it was awake, nothing could stop what came next. When a human chooses family. The fleet did not answer right away. Warships floated in perfect lines, silent and powerless, like statues carved from fear. Inside the colony, no one spoke. Even the alarms had gone quiet, as if the machines themselves were listening. The human felt a strange weight settle in his chest. He never wanted this. He only wanted 3 small dragons to eat. The dragon mother sensed his thoughts. She lowered her head slightly toward him. You regret nothing, she said. It was not a question. The human exhaled. I'm scared, he admitted. But no, I don't. That was when the colony shook again. Not from outside. From inside. A deep metallic groan echoed through the lower levels. Old doors slammed open. Sealed tunnels unlocked on their own. What now? The human asked. The dragon mother's eyes widened. They are waking the vaults. The alien officials began shouting orders, panicking. Emergency override. Release the failsafes. Activate dragon control protocols. The lead dragon turned sharply. They dare. From beneath the colony floor, chains rose, massive, glowing restraints designed to suppress dragon power. Ancient tech. Cruel tech. The human stared. Those are for you. For all of us, the dragon mother said softly. Built with knowledge stolen from dragon blood. The chains shot upward, wrapping around wings, necks, claws. One dragon roared in pain. The human didn't think. He ran. Stop, he shouted, sprinting toward a control tower. Drones fired stun blasts. One at his shoulder. He crashed hard, gasping. The dragon mother screamed his name. She broke free. Not with fire, with force. Her injured wing tore against the restraint. Blood hit the metal floor. But she reached him. Stay down, she said. No, The human groaned. I'm not letting them do this. The lead dragon watched them, dragon and human, standing together, both bleeding, both refusing to kneel. That was the moment the decision was made. The lead dragon lifted his head and roared, not in rage, but in command. Across space, every dragon heard it. Protect the human. The warships outside powered back on. But this time, they were not aiming at the dragons. They were aiming at the colony. The fleet commander's voice came through, cold and sharp. Consortium officials, he said, you have violated containment laws. Stand down immediately. The officials froze. You can't, one screamed. He's just a human. The commander paused. Exactly, he said, and he chose family. The chain shattered. Fire did not burn the colony. It burned the lies. The humans stood, supported by the dragon mother. Around them, dragons rose, free and furious, but controlled. The lead dragon looked down at the human. You're no longer alone, he said. The human looked at the dragon children emerging from the tunnels, eyes bright, stomachs full. I never was, he said. Far across the galaxy, laws began to break, and something stronger took their place. The debt paid in fire. The colony burned, but not the way the galaxy expected. Flames did not touch homes. They did not touch workers. They did not touch children. The fire went only where lies lived. Consortium banners melted from the walls. Control towers cracked open. Hidden rooms, sealed for decades, were exposed to the light. Inside them were cages, chains, and records, proof of how dragons had been broken and sold piece by piece. The human watched it all in silence. The dragon mother stood beside him, her injured wing trembling but unbowed. This is too much, the human said quietly. I never wanted destruction. The lead dragon turned to him. This is not destruction, he said. This is correction. Outside the colony, the warships moved into new positions. Not attack lines, protection lines. The fleet commander appeared again on the main screen. His face looked older now. Tired. Dragons, he said. We acknowledge the crimes committed here. The alien officials screamed as soldiers dragged them away. You can't do this, one shouted. We own this station. The commander didn't even look at him. No, he said. You exploited it. The human frowned. Why help now? He asked the screen. Where were you before? The commander met his eyes. Looking away, he admitted. That answer spread through the feeds. Across ships. Across worlds. People listened. The dragon mother stepped forward. Her voice was calm, but it carried like fire on steel. We do not want revenge, she said. We want safety. We want our children fed. We want our dead remembered. The colony feeds lit up with images from other systems. Dragon mines, dragon factories, dragon bodies worked until they collapsed. Anger rose like a storm. The lead dragon spread his wings fully for the first time. The debt is not yours alone, he said to the human. But you reminded us it exists. The human shook his head. I just did what was right. The lead dragon's eyes softened. That is the most dangerous thing anyone can do. A final alert flashed. Consortium authority revoked. Dragon labor banned. Protective status. Dragon kin. Cheers broke out among the workers. Humans cried openly. Some fell to their knees, not in fear but relief. The dragon children flew clumsily into the open air, laughing, their small wings catching the heat currents. The dragon mother watched them, tears burning at the edges of her eyes. She turned to the human. The debt is paid, she said. He looked at the children, then back at her. No, he said softly. This is just the beginning. Far beyond the colony, deep in the dark between stars, something ancient shifted. Not all enemies wore uniforms, and not all of them were done fighting. The galaxy had changed, but change always demands a price. And soon, someone would come to collect it. The rule written in flame. The galaxy did not heal overnight. News spread faster than fire, but fear always ran ahead of truth. Some worlds celebrated. Others closed their borders. Old powers whispered in dark rooms, angry that control had slipped from their hands. And far from all of them were gone. The human stood on the outer platform of the colony, watching stars drift past. His shoulders still hurt. His clothes were burned and torn. He had no job, no rank, no official place in the New Order. He smiled anyway. Behind him, the dragon children played, chasing sparks of harmless fire through the air. Their laughter echoed through metal halls that once held screams. The dragon mother approached quietly. "You could leave," she said. "Many worlds would welcome you now." He shook his head. "I'm where I should be." She studied him for a long moment. "You understand," she said. "This peace is fragile." Before he could answer, alarm screamed again. Different this time. Not consortium, not fleet. Unknown signal. The stars outside twisted. Space folded in on itself like burning paper. A massive black structure emerged. Sharp, silent, wrong. No markings. No signals of peace. The dragons felt it instantly. Every adult dragon lifted their head. The lead dragon's voice rumbled low. "The Void Brokers." The human frowned. "That sound bad." "They profit from suffering," the dragon mother said. "They sold our chains." The structure transmitted one message, cold and simple. Asset breach detected. Property to be reclaimed. The humans stepped forward without thinking. "They still think we're property." The lead dragon's eyes burned brighter than ever. "Then they will learn the final rule." Dragons rose into the void, forming a living shield around the colony. Fire rolled along their wings, controlled, focused. Warships moved to support them, but stayed back. This was a dragon fight. The human grabbed a comm device. "This is human territory now," he said into the open channel. "Leave." Silence. Then the Void Brokers fired. Space shattered. The first wave hit the dragon shield. Fire met void. Light screamed. One dragon fell. The human's heart dropped. The dragon mother roared in dove, catching the falling dragon, lifting him back into formation. "No more running," she said. The human felt something deep inside him settle. Fear turned into resolve. He looked at the dragons, at the children watching from behind glass, at the stars that had seen too much cruelty. "This ends now," he said. The lead dragon answered with a single command. "Burn." Fire unlike anything before filled space. Not wild, not cruel, but precise. It tore through the Void Broker structure, melting weapons, cracking hulls. The black structure tried to retreat. It did not escape. When the light faded, nothing remained but cooling fragments. Silence returned. Then cheers. Across ships, across species. The dragon mother landed beside the human. She placed her claw gently against his chest. "The rule is written," she said. He looked up at the stars. "No one starves," he said. "Not on our watch." Far across the galaxy, old powers felt it. A new law had been made, not by treaty, but by choice. And everyone would remember who wrote it.